lies. Won't change my mind. No, just because I'm all gone.
What's up, gang? Y'all already know it's your girl, Ooh, That's Cap TV. Man, it's been a minute since I seen y'all, but I'm back. Man, we got some crazy news about our girl Aaliyah. Real name Aaliyah Donna Halton. She was the R&B singer. She died in a plane crash at the age of 22. She didn't want to get on the plane, but she was carried on and boarded unconsciously after being given sleeping pills. Now, that's the claim of a new book that has came out. Y'all got to go check that out. I'm going to put it up here. And the book is called Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah. Y'all go check that book out. I think that's going to be a nice book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm most definitely, going to get there. Aaliyah tragically died in August 2001 alongside 8 others after a plane destined for Miami crashed less than a minute after takeoff in the Bahamas. It later emerged that the aircraft had exceeded its weight by several hundreds of pounds. The weight was improperly distributed, making the aircraft difficult to control while in the air. Meanwhile, the pilot had reportedly faked his license and was under the influence of alcohol. And not only that, you guys had cocaine in his system at the time of the accident. However, what remained a mystery since the devastating crash almost 2 decades ago was why, as it intentionally suggests that Aaliyah, a known nervous liar, had insisted on boarding the overloaded plane back to Miami, despite there being a jet due to pick her up the following day. But in her upcoming book, Baby Girl, better known as Aaliyah, by Miss Kathy, she's a music journalist, believes she's finally uncovered the truth about what happened to Aaliyah. As the first reported by Daily Beast, a Bahamian man who had been with the pop star just moments before her death has claimed that was not the case. Kingsley Russell, whose family ran a taxi and hospitality business in the islands, but he was with the star as his stepmother drove her team to the airport for her after returning flight back to the USA. Russell got off to work with Aaliyah in her team baggage carrying. As the team, Russell claims that's when the singer saw that the plane take her back to the U.S. mainland. Aaliyah refused to get on board and went back to sleep in the cab. His stepmother was driving, telling her team she had a headache. Aaliyah had just finished filming a music video for her song Rock the Boat, an upcoming completion of the shoot. The team were going back to Miami about 50 miles away. After dropping the team off at the airport, Aaliyah had concerns about the aircraft. Now, after hearing that it would be overweight, feeling a little under the weather and suffering from a headache, she decided to spend the time in the back of the cab with the air conditioning, leaving her crew to sort the problem out. Now, later, according to Russell, someone returned to ask her what was wrong. Aaliyah is said to have repeated her concerns about getting on the plane, at which point she was handed a sleeping pill. She fell into a deep sleep. Russell headed back inside the airport while the star dozed in the back of the taxi. Upon entering the terminal, the book detailed how he could hear people bickering and arguing over the weight and the problems, the delays that were being caused. The aircraft staff and Aaliyah had the common sense that the plane was overweighted. Russell is quoted in the book. 2 hours later, the pilot once again advised there was too much cargo for the aircraft to fly. He was backed up by baggage handlers at the airport. But then the argument ended abruptly and the pilot agreed to continue with the trip. All the while, Aaliyah was still fast asleep in the back of the taxi van, completely unaware of what had been going on inside the airport terminal. Russell details how Aaliyah was brought out of the van and carried into the plane despite her earlier reservations. She was still knocked out from whatever pills she had been given. They took her out of the van. She didn't even know she was getting boarded on the plane. Russell states in the book, she went on the airplane asleep. Moments later, the aircraft was ready to depart and began hurtling down the runway. It was airborne for less than a minute before it came crashing down a couple of 100 feet from the end. Although some on board survived the intentional crash, including Aaliyah's bodyguard and stylist. Within hours, they were all dead. Aaliyah's body was found still strapped into her seat about 20 feet from the wreckage. An autopsy detailed major head trauma and extensive burns, making her survival was unthinkable. I remember when Aaliyah passed away, I was really upset, said Miss Kathy. In the story, it kept saying that she was abandoned about getting on the plane. She said, I was almost upset with her. Why did you want to get on that plane so bad? And learning that she did not want to get on the plane for someone like myself and so many other people, I think that's closure for us. It's an unfortunate closure. But I need to hear she didn't want to get on that plane. I needed to know that. The person who thought had the most common sense in the world had common sense to not get on the plane. The fact that she was so adamant staying in the cab, refusing, these are things that we never knew. Kathy added in the book. The only thing I've taken with me is that after 20 years, I can finally say that Aaliyah didn't want to get on the plane. That makes me feel a little better, but not much. It didn't have to happen. She should still be here. And I think that's the saddest part about it. She deserved better. That's kind of crazy. This young, beautiful lady, you know, that a lot of people looked up to. She was around people that she trusted, people that she gave her all to. And I just feel like it was messed up how she was done. People just have to be careful who they surround themselves with, because the same people you look after be the same people you have to look after. It's kind of crazy, man. This world has come to this, but this female, she did not deserve it. We all knew Aaliyah from when we was growing up young, listening to Rock the Boat and all of that. But it's crazy it took 20 years for them to just find this out. Y'all don't think that they already knew this, but man, we're going to stay tuned. I'm going to keep y'all up to date on this case. Y'all just make sure y'all stay down. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all have not subscribed. I already know it's a whole lot of gang shit, and we out here gang.